It's time to make some big changes to my 2G DSM. Feel free to tag along. I've got a lot of ground to cover. Starting with pulling the turbo and manifold to make room for my new setup. At first I thought I'd just pull the turbo, but that wasn't working out, so I decided to pull them together.
This is actually pretty nice. This is pretty nice. This is gonna be good. I need it to sit here for a second. Very close. May not have enough room with the radiator still in the car. Or maybe we do. Oh, we do. All right. There we go. We're clear.
Even after it came off the car, I was having difficulty separating the turbo from the manifold. Looks like I stripped one of the bolts. I wanted to avoid this, but...
Finally! It took long enough. Manifold's in fine condition and it's gonna go to a new home, and the rest of this is going up to Colorado. So I am actually a little sick right now. I know it doesn't sound good. Come on out. Alright, so we've got the upper and lower radiator hose connections. Time for them to be converted to AN. Let's see how that goes. Alright, time for a little bit of a deviation. I decided I am ready for this car to look different. I was going to handle things in stages, but it all needs to get done anyway. That's what I've decided, so we're just going to go for it. I'm going to open up my goodies from Sergio. Oh, let's use this box cutter. Placed this order quite a while ago. We finally, a few months ago, got things worked out, and then eventually it all also came in. Oh, there we go. All right. Don't break, don't break. Okay, that kind of worked. I forgot. I have to drill the holes. Alright, I've got to work with this off camera a little bit. Have an idea of how I'm going to place it. All right, hoping we get this pretty close. I'll be able to push it a bit. Okay, I can barely see that, but I can work with it. Oh, there's the color.
We're just hoping for the best here, man.
So, it's not fully done. I may try and put this guard back on, but I don't know, maybe I won't. It looks fine. Fine for now. Now, I've decided to commit to going ahead and trying to get off the spoiler, because I am in fact changing that. Okay. Okay. Let's try that. That was way easier than I thought it was going to be. Just start with what we see. That's just 4. That may have been everything, and it may just be adhesive holding it down the rest of the way. Holy shit! Yikes! Oh, that's much uglier than I was anticipating it would be. I may end up abandoning this idea for no other reason, to not make the car even uglier than necessary, even if it's short term. Oh my goodness. I just was not expecting that. This package makes it look like this part barely got here in one piece. This is, in fact, what I'm thinking I'm going to be replacing the spoiler with. I understand it may be underwhelming. Is it snug on both sides? No, I'm gonna have to try and center it as best I can. Something like that, maybe. I mean, at a glance, I like it. I really like it. I really like the rear perspective. The top, I'll obviously have to clean this up. And gosh, I'm gonna need Lane's help. You know, it's a drastic change, and it's like, bro, why not go functional aero if you're gonna make such a drastic change? And my answer to that is, I just really like the duckbill. I thought about it for a while. I know I could use sticky material to mount it, but maybe I bolt it so it would be easier to remove, just in case I ever change my mind. Well, I guess I could use it in conjunction with an adhesion to make sure, well, an adhesive to make sure that it stays like it's supposed to. I just don't know. I'm feeling iffy now. But I do know that I'm making a sacrifice in terms of not running functional aero. And I could always add a wing, but I feel like it would look weird to do this and a wing. I should do one or the other. This might be a mistake, but we'll see. All right. I've decided to continue with my theme of committing. We're not going back on this, so sure, it's ugly, it's a little scary, but I'm not running that high-rise wing anymore. Car, I'm sorry if this just looks really ugly for a little while. Yeah, no going back now. I'm gonna try it up here first. Hey, how about that? It's actually working rather well. Wow, okay. I'm attempting to remove the AC condenser, and once again, I am encountering a bolt that I don't want to waste time on. So I'm gonna save time
Go ahead and commit to the nuclear option. At least it'll hopefully be a little entertaining. Okay, it's working, but it's killing my freaking ears. Mission accomplished. Oh, does it still have a little too much on the top to come out? Well, an angle grinder may be sufficient in this case. There we go. That worked. Wasn't so hard, was it, car? Alright, I gotta disconnect this. That wasn't so hard. Oh, oops. I think I dropped the bolt to that. It'll turn up, I hope. Arguably, and Steven did mention that I should have removed this sooner because it blocks airflow. There we go. Plenty more air will be able to flow. Presumably I need to seal that canister, or just remove the entire thing. Figure out what goes into that. Crash bar served me well. Fortunately, I didn't need it. It's time for it to come off for the new setup. That stage is over with. You can see that's a little damaged. Sad, but it still works. There we go. I'm operating under the presumption I can remove this entire thing. And it looks like I should be able to. Whatever this is, it's retired. I am making a big chaotic mess. Alright, I got the box of goodies back from Steven in Colorado. Packaged it very well. Everything is very nice and secure. Where do we begin? As you can see, we have a new manifold. He welded this wastegate connection for me. Seems I just can't help but put more Volvo parts on my Mitsubishi. This is a Volvo 13G turbocharger. It will spool much sooner than my puny FP Red. Alright, dipstick is gonna be a real problem. I gotta figure out how to bend it out of the way for sure. This is why I wanted to test it anyway. And that alternator, starting to weigh the benefits of relocating it to the rear of the motor, as I've seen people mention, because it's just not gonna clear. That is not going to clear. This is gonna be so interesting. Alright, so I actually did end up removing the intake manifold because I've got to remove the AC compressor so I can put the alternator back there instead. There just isn't going to be room with the way I'm configuring the new setup up front, and it would probably get cooked sooner than later anyway. So, yep, that's what I'm going to be working on next. There's one excess hose that's now out of the way. This car will, in fact, never run AC. Come on! There we go. Now the compressor is bolted to the back of the block somehow. Hopefully I'll be able to lift the whole thing straight up now. Turns out there are a couple of corresponding bolts on the bottom of the AC compressor that I can't see from this perspective. So I had to break out the hand wrench. About got it. I can barely feel where it's at with my fingers. Okay, there it is. Gotta hoist it out now. I hope it's not attached to anything else down here. It's not. Okay, now let's get the other AC hoses out of the way, and also maybe the old power steering lines. I removed the connection at the wall for the AC, pulled out the compressor and the connections that went to the wall, and now I'm pulling the lines to the AC canister off the wall. I'm sure you don't mind me skipping around all that much. This could be a good route for a potential fire suppression system. I should just remove this entire canister, which I can probably do by simply unplugging this connector right here. Now, everything that really needs to be out of the way is out of the way for me to relocate the alternator. Now I just need the relocation kit. It's on its way from Extreme PSI, and we'll be onto that. Alright, check that out. Steel. I got the steel unit accompanied by a couple belts. Okay, that's working. Alright, I finally got this thing arranged. I had to use the inner pulley with a smaller belt. The belt is almost the perfect size for that. My only concern is it's got a little bit of slop, not a lot. And I can tighten down everything a little more and see if that helps. I'm not sealing everything up yet because I'm not 100% quite yet, and I need to figure out the water pump to crank pulley on the outside. I'm going to need a smaller belt for that because I don't have my power steering up here, which, as you can see, leaves a lot of room. That's what I'm going to be looking into next. Soon we'll be on to sealing up back here, the intake manifold and everything, and working up where I'm probably going to be doing the most foreign work to myself. And so I suppose it's time I unveil my evil plan. I intend to use the Volvo 13G turbocharger to spool the FP Red UHF, a compound turbo setup. Credit where it's due, it wasn't my idea. It was my tuner Steven's, and he's already done a ton of work to help me with fabrication and such. So massive thank you to him, and I'm pretty curious to see what comes of this idea. So stay tuned if you want to see how it all pans out. Thank you for watching.